Hello! Thank you for tuning in to this week's Pick-a-Read, which I do these randomly, so I don't know why I called it this week's, but here you go. The subject for this one is overcoming the next challenge. I got a few rocks out here to choose. The first one, I can't remember the name of it, I just got it too. So I'm just going to refer to it as the square, even though it's kind of like a trapezoid. The next one, I keep thinking of it as the peacock stone. I don't remember the actual name, so I'm just going to call it the blue stone. Same thing with this. I'm going to call this the heart. And the last two, I think I do know. Amethyst, and this is the Amazonite. So when you're choosing, if you want to take a minute and meditate or decide what you want, some people use a dice, like a six-sided dice. Actually, I have one here. You might want to use that. Just assign numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if you get a 6, that means there's nothing here for you, and you just roll the dice to see what one best suits for you. So this is 5, so I'd choose Amazonite in case that helps you. Give you a couple more seconds to meditate on those if you want. I'm going to next do the names of the authors of the decks, and then we'll get right into it. Here are the decks I'm going to be using for this pick-a-read. The first one is the Tarot Grand Lux by Chiro Marchetti. I believe the website on here is usgamesinc.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested. The Oracle deck I'm going to use is the Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. Website on the back here, if I can get it close enough, is hayhouse.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you are interested. And now I'll get into the stone selections. Hello, Stone 1, the square stone. The question is, overcoming the next challenge. What do you need to know? So currently it seems like whatever the situation is, you do seem to be holding on to it pretty well. Wanting it, keeping it, but knowing that, things can come out of the blue seems to be a reality. It's not even like I'm worried about things coming in out of the blue. It's like I know it will happen. I'm trying to hold it. I'm trying to be aware of it. I'm trying to stay in the moment. Staying in the moment is very helpful here. Currently, things are going your way. Things look like they're heading up in your direction. There is some type of opposition there, but it's very... I would say it's low level, because I'm seeing the 2 pages over here. They're not really compatible energies. Typically, can be very random, very emotional, in a very undeveloped way, just kind of superficial. There are some issues going on around the situation. So what do you need to know to keep this where you want it, to keep it where it is, or to put it where you want it to be if you keep moving forward with this situation? Let's do a couple oracle cards. Alright, so change does need to happen a little bit here. You may not be wanting that change off the beginning of the situation. Hopefully these are in the camera. I do get that there's going to be some small random things that are going to happen going forward. If you capitalize on those little random changes and kind of like see where things are going, like you could see where the energy is a little restless, or maybe people have gotten a little bored with what's going on, and take advantage of these moments to create a change under your control, this is a way you can keep the situation in a positive place. Maybe it's a situation that you prefer to keep it just as it is, but if you keep it there, it seems like it's harder to keep it in the same spot. If you kind of mix it around a little bit, it doesn't have to be dramatic changes. For example, it reminds me of like moving the living room around. You still have all the same stuff, you just put it in different places. The room feels a little different, but it's not really a major change. Possibly the farthest I would go with these changes would be like, if we were going to use the living room as an example, maybe painting the living room walls a little different color, switching out pictures from this room to another room, something like that. But just the reorganizing should be enough. People who are doing things now, maybe getting a little bored, switching their job out with somebody else who's also getting bored, might actually help you out a lot in this situation. There's a lot of reckless energy over here I'm feeling. So I'm just kind of like want to figure this out a little bit here. So this over here is what you're dealing with. So you got the 10 of Cups, half in, half out, and you got the Death card reversed. Nothing major needs to change. Whatever the opposition is, it doesn't seem to want a major change. It does seem to want a partial change, though. If they don't seem to get that, I do feel like more randomness is going to keep happening. This seems to be what you have to be aware of. This is going to keep happening. If some type of like, I don't want to say compensation, or some type of change has to happen. If this isn't acknowledged to some degree, it's going to kind of get pent up. It's going to kind of build and build and build like a pot that isn't properly, vented, and it's just going to, or it's going to boil over or whatever. It's going to have a problem. There will be a change. There will be a change one way or another. It's just you might be able to hold it off for like maybe 3 or 4 months the way you're going by not changing at all, but then all of a sudden, boom, a big change will happen. If you have control of it, if you just keep making small changes, moving things around, you still have that change, but it doesn't seem to damage what you want to keep. It may not be, I keep getting that it may not be something that you really want to do, but for the long-term benefits, it may be the most beneficial for you to do. Having that idea and controlling it and realizing that things are going to have to change, when these little things come in and just kind of rolling with it, it does kind of stretch out the longevity of this situation. It's just realizing that the energy over here seems to get bored, just seems to get just wanting to change, or just needing something to be a little different. It doesn't have to be major, but if nothing changes, nothing changes, nothing changes, I really do feel like it's going to build up and cause an issue. The simple answer, I do feel like, is just you going with small changes and keep those small changes going. You can even make that like a constant where there's constantly small changes, people moving around little by little. So it's like, if we're going to use the house analogy, okay, so we're moving the living room around today. Maybe we're painting some of it, maybe not all of it. Who knows? Depending, maybe the whole living room doesn't need to be painted. I've seen these living rooms where they paint one wall a different color just to accent it. Maybe you want to do that. Next month, maybe we do a different room, and we just keep going around and picking different rooms. We can even add the garage in, do stuff like that. Just keep moving things around. Is there anything else I need to say with this one? I don't think this one has to be that bad. So far, I mean, this is the first one I've done, but I feel like if you just kind of decide what small changes to roll with, I don't think there has to be a big change, and you can keep what you have and keep what you want. But again, if you kind of fight against that, it may kind of like make a big change happen, then you may have to fight to put it back where it was. There could be a lot of calamity that you're not interested in. This Ace of Wands just keeps showing up, and I keep noticing it. There will be some type of quick movement going around. It's just if you get ahead of it and kind of roll with it, goes more to your advantage. All right, I think that's all we have for this one. I'll get into the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Hello to those of you who chose the blue stone. I think of it as the peacock stone because it has a few different colors in it. It's got some purples and blues. I thought I had green, but there's some gold in there, I guess. The question for this one, of course, with the same, overcoming the next challenge. So the current energy I'm feeling with this, somebody's definitely going to be pushing in on the situation. Currently, it may seem like you have control of it, whatever this is, or at least it's staying where you want it to. Even if you don't have control of it, it's staying where you want it to stay currently. And it seems like opposition is not really bothering you currently if this one's going to hit. But then I see the Emperor. See, this is where it currently is. This is where it's going. This is what's bad. This is what's good spiritually, and where you stand, in case you want to know. It's moving forward very effortlessly currently. But I do see like something changes the circumstances. And you got the Wheel of Fortune coming in, changing the circumstances. Yep, something coming in really quickly. And I feel like the Emperor, whoever this person is going to have ideas about things they want to change. Overcoming the next challenge may not be keeping what you currently have, but maybe trying to get ahead of it. Is that allowed? Let's see. Let's get some oracle cards out here and see what they say. Can you get ahead of it? I feel like you can. I'm going to do some dice on this, because this card's what's going to help you. This Ace of Wands, moving it forward in your direction, being open to it. You got the Six of Fire, which is success, and then you got the 11 card, which is the Justice card. When this energy comes towards you, it seems to come forward towards you pretty quickly. I'm getting kind of back off and see where it's going. See what direction it's heading in, because I'm getting this direction. This person just wants to change things, but they haven't decided quite yet what they're going to do. They're open to a lot of possibilities. Hold back for a minute. Try to assess what they're considering. See, like, I don't think you're going to get exactly what they want, but for example, if we're going to make this really simple, they're considering what they want for dinner, just to make it easy. So you're like, all right, do they want seafood? Nope, doesn't seem like it's seafood. Do they want Mexican? Do they want Italian? Do they want, an Oriental dish? What type of things? Like, trying to figure out like what direction they're going in. And they seem to be like, well, I like Oriental food. I like Mexican food. I've had a lot of Italian, so I'm not really interested in that. So you got a couple ideas there. So you're like, all right, now in both sections, what type of things do you like? And kind of like, all right, what would I like? And like try to push forward ideas and things that I would like in those directions. If you just hold back, you'll kind of get an idea what they're trying to go for. So like, for example, if you weren't paying attention and you didn't kind of hold back and see what was going on, you might be like, how about a cheeseburger? How about spaghetti? And they're not interested in either of those things. And if you start giving them ideas that are completely out of what they're interested in, you might get some opposition here that you don't want. They might close down their openness to you, and they might not be willing to listen or deal with whatever you're thinking. But if you already kind of like, oh, okay, they're thinking Mexican or they're thinking an Oriental dish. So they're like, oh, how about, empanadas? Or how about, I'm trying to think of a good Chinese, I'm going to say sweet and sour chicken. I don't think that's an authentic one, but, let's just say sweet and sour chicken. How about sweet and sour chicken? Oh, that's an idea. I like those. These will work. That's an idea. I don't know. What else are you thinking? They're open to what you're thinking as long as you're kind of going down the path that they're already going. Otherwise, you're going to get like an opposition that you don't want. They do have the Death card over here, so they're looking to make a change. They're looking to kind of move forward on it fairly quickly too. I don't feel like this card's going to linger. They're looking to make a change pretty quickly. They're more likely to try something new. So if you know of, for example, if you're using those same things, if you know of something in either place that you don't think is very common or they might not know of, like Mexican food, I think of fried ice cream. That's the only place I know of that they make that. Only type of ethnicity that I'm aware of. I'm not saying it's the only one, it's the one I am. So you kind of bring forward, how about fried ice cream? Like, what is that? And then you go into what it is. That's going to like give them something new. It's going to give them something exciting. You're going to pull them forward, especially if they don't know what it's about, but they think it might be a good idea. You got something else coming in here. I know that with that star card. So I feel like we need to be a little careful with the star card. So what do you have to be careful of with this energy here? The Tower and the Nine of Swords reversed. The Tower is like, be careful to not make a quick decision that might backlash on you. Bring it forward very quietly and make sure that whoever this is, that they feel like they made the decision. They need to feel like they made the decision. If it doesn't go right, they'll deal with it. They'll take it as if, well, it was their decision, and they'll live by their decision. If they feel like you kind of pushed them down this road and you gave them false promises, if they seem to kind of angle it that way, you could end up creating an issue where this person just kind of like blocks you from here on out. And they'll just be a difficult person. They'll just constantly think of you as that person that caused them to go down a road that they didn't really want to, and they'll see you as an ill advisor. So be careful. You want to kind of advise them to make sure that they feel, or at least they consider it their choice to try something. So for example, if you're giving them that that fried ice cream idea. Explain what it is, how it tasted when you had it. Do you like these flavors? I want to say there was caramel something in it when I did it, and there was some type of shell around it. It's been a long time. So explain what it was, how it was crunchy, how it was satisfying, how it was caramel, how this is what you explained. If you've researched and you're like, well, you could also do it this way, maybe they'll do it that way. It could be a lot of fun. It could be very exciting. I feel like this will pull them in. Just make sure that they at least feel like it was their decision to do so. You want them to kind of hold it that way. If they don't like it, blah, 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 they'll just kind of own it themselves. If they do like it, I feel like they'll remember that you gave them a good idea and you gave them a good possibility. They'll still feel like they're the ones who made the choice, but they'll remember you as somebody with really good ideas, and they might search you out in the future, kind of like, what other good ideas do you have? What other good ideas could you have for me? I really like that one. That really worked out. I chose that. What else do you have on your plate that you could tell me about that maybe I would enjoy? So that could set it up further down the road. You could have possibly more benefits going forward with this person. So it's not only about the next challenge, but it could be possibly the multiple ones after it that you come up with this person. All right. These are kind of straightforward. I kind of like that. They're not very long readings, but there you go. All right, so thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Hello. This one is for those of you who chose that sparkly heart right there. This is about overcoming the next challenge. Okay, so this one, and we'll add some dice in and some oracle cards. It seems like it's starting off really kind of rough. You got somebody who seems to be messing with the situation. I feel like somebody's giving you the idea that you have a choice that maybe you don't. Or they're not really giving you a choice. I feel like somebody's kind of setting you up, if I'm going to be fair with you. Whatever the situation is, you want to overcome this next challenge. I feel like you're trying to make long-term choices. You're trying to plan out what you need to do. This seems to be where you're starting. This is like what's currently going on. This is where it's going. Spiritual aspects, where you're currently standing. What's not working, what is working. You are communicating, but the planning and waiting is not working to your benefit. I feel like whoever you're dealing with, it does feel like it's kind of setting you up. Let me just do a couple things here. I'm going to do the dice first to see if I can get any insights about this person. Because you're trying to overcome this next challenge, but it almost feels like somebody's it's like they're pulling the rug out from under you, even though you're doing what you can. Yeah, there's this stagnant energy here. 4 of Cups. They don't seem to care for you very much. They might be acting like they do, and even asking you for help at times, but I feel like this energy doesn't really care for you that much, just to be fair. Take it with a grain of salt. It's a general read here, of course. They're difficult. Let's see if we can get some oracle cards in here. Because you're trying to overcome this challenge, but it's kind of like whoever this is, I don't even know if they like themselves, quite frankly. My first thought is to kind of like make up your mind who this person is and why do you have to deal with them? Like, what part of this is kind of sticking you in the sense of like you have to deal with this? Because the letting go here is telling me maybe this is time for you to step out. Underneath that card, you got the 9 of Cups. You're trying to make a situation. You're trying to be at peace with it. You're trying to do the right thing. Healing is not happening in this situation. The 4 of Swords upside down is telling me that this situation is not going correctly. The person that you're working with is setting you up and purposely doing so, and they seem to enjoy it. I feel like they're trying to trap you in this situation, and they're enjoying kind of torturing you is what I'm getting. They're trying to do everything in their power just to make it more and more difficult for you. The more random it is, the more they like it, because it just goes to their benefit. I also get that this person, I really feel like they don't really care for themselves, and they just keep wanting to get in your way. I hate to say this, because I don't want to, I feel like that let go is saying a lot. But it doesn't have to mean that you have to physically leave, but maybe stop worrying about what this other person thinks. This reminds me of a job I had. The last 3 to 4 months I had of this one certain job I'm thinking of was the best part because I stopped caring what the manager thought. I did the job the best I could, and the most competently I could. I didn't go crazy with hitting numbers, but my numbers were good. I just stopped caring what they thought. And when I did that, I loved the job a lot more. I still left because I was done. I was done with the whole situation. But maybe just like not caring what this person thinks anymore. Doing what you have to do and just not worrying about it. That's error. And you got the page coming in. It's almost like, is it worth it? Trying to kind of like watch it. Trying to keep an eye on it, but trying not to control it. I'm getting, if you just go along your own route and just stop caring what they think, that might be how you overcome this next challenge. It might be quite hard too. There's certain people that they trigger us before we know it, and sometimes it's really hard. It's easier to say than do. I would recommend, I'm a big fan of Paul McKenna, British author, How to Mend Your Broken Heart. Use the exercises in that book. You don't even have to read the book, just use the exercises for whoever this person may be. You'll be surprised at how much control you can get over a situation by not being triggered by a person. It's just amazing to me. It's like one of those books where it used to be like, somebody would cause an issue or lie or do something weird, and it would be hard for me to disconnect from that because it would just sit in my brain like, oh, here we go again with this one. Can't trust them as far as I can throw them. But once I started doing those exercises, I started like stepping away from who they were and what they were doing and just doing the best for what I needed to do and just stepping away from who they are and just letting them do what they want. Let them sink their own ship. Would this person sink their own ship if you're able to do that successfully? I highly recommend that book, by the way. If you're able to do that successfully, what happens with this person? The truth, of course. That is 4. That's cups. 10 of cups, half in, half out. Judgment, half in, half out. I feel like other people are going to kind of be a problem for them. If you stop reacting, if you stop letting them... Like, I feel like if you stop playing the game with them, even though to you it may feel like you're not playing a game, you're just trying to live your life, it is, a matter of fact, a sort of game. As long as you participate in it, they feel like they're playing a game. And if you don't play the game, if you don't participate in it, they get bored with the game. It just doesn't work for them. It doesn't excite them. They start messing with other people because it seems like they're that type of person. It becomes more like this person might get more of their just desserts. Ironically, the more you disconnect from them, the less you're going to care anyway. Even if they get their just desserts, I just feel if you're able to successfully disconnect from them and what they do, it won't matter left or right. They can just go bother somebody else, and that's somebody else's problem. Not to be rude, but you know what I mean. Let other people deal with them. Maybe other people have more success figuring out what this person needs or what needs to be done with them. This one seems fairly simple. I feel like the biggest message from this one is like you can't fix something when somebody's just constantly trying to create more calamity for you at every corner. It's kind of like if you have, I don't know if this is a good analogy, if you have like a crazy 2-year-old who's just in a bad mood, maybe they don't get proper sleep and maybe they're just not feeling well, and you keep cleaning up the house, you keep trying to help them do what they need to do, you keep cleaning up the messes, but the thing is they just keep throwing things. They just keep having a fit. They need to just go take a nap. And they're fighting that too. Hopefully you're just babysitting this kid. But like that's the analogy I'm getting. Like it's like a 2-year-old running around and they haven't had enough sleep. They're hungry. They don't want to eat anything you're giving them though, and they're just having a fit. No matter what you do, they're having a fit. And it's kind of like, all right, let's find a safe room for them to be in, and just let them go and throw stuffed animals all over the place and just run themselves out of energy and hopefully just kind of fall asleep when they're done. And then when their parent comes back, the parent can feed them and deal with whatever needs to happen for this kid. And that's the kind of analogy I'm getting with this. I don't know if that's a good one, but that's the one I got. So hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully this helps in some respect. All right, so I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Hello. This is for those of you who chose the Amethyst stone. All right, the question, overcoming the next challenge. It does seem like things are pretty solid at the moment. You may not like completely where they are just yet, but overcoming the next challenge seems to be accepting somebody's disconnect. Somebody disconnected. Somebody disconnected and doesn't seem to want anything to do with the situation. This disconnect, ironically, works to your benefit. I feel like this is something that I don't really care for. This is how it's currently going. This is where it's going to be. This is where it's going. This is where it currently is. This is where it's going, I should say. This is the spiritual aspects. This is how you are currently standing in the situation. This is what's not working. This is what will work. The person that you're dealing with seems to be on their own pursuits. They don't seem to be very concerned about with what you want. Again, I keep feeling like this is not something you care for. You're trying to figure out what you need to do with it. I do feel like you want this person to come back into the fold in some respect, or that you want them to do more for the situation. For example, if this is a work situation, maybe this is somebody who's not doing the best at their job, and you'd like them to focus a little bit more and maybe bring up the quality a bit. But they seem to be distracted and not really interested. They just get it done the way they get it done. Whatever it is what it is, and then they walk away. Ironically, it may not sound like that will work to your benefit, but this does seem to change things for you, because whoever this person is, I feel like this is going to leave an opening for somebody else. They may be shocked that they don't want to participate that much, and they seem to be very hell-bent that they're not going to. This is kind of like the thief card, like I'm not going to participate, I'm going to walk away, I'm blocking it, I don't want anything to do with it, and I'm not willing to bend on that. They may be shocked that things might change very quickly if they're not careful. There's something coming forward where there's a change going on here. Can we get a little bit more about how this is going your way? That's air. The release of a block. And then the Empress. If you don't want to work with me, somebody else will. Okay, so I feel like that's already happening. Yeah, I feel like you're trying to get along with this situation the best you can. Somebody else might be stepping in, though. It might be time to change out players. Especially like if it's a work situation and you're like, you know what? This person, they just don't want to put in the effort that I need here. They're technically doing what they need to do, but not well enough. It's causing us to slow down. It's causing us to get behind. Other people are much more up to speed than this person is. Other people care about the quality a lot more than this person does. Maybe it's time to move that person out of the situation and move somebody in. Stepping out, it says glamour, but I'm getting kind of like stepping out of the situation or stepping somebody out of it. It's not really something you want to do, but I feel like it might be something that needs to happen. Just moving them out of the situation. So another analogy would be like if you have somebody picking up children after school, and then this person is just kind of like they're a little bit late. They're not taking the best routes. They're taking too long bringing people home. They're kind of reckless driver. You're kind of like, you know what? Instead of trying to get them to do better, maybe I'll give somebody else, like, for example, maybe they're borrowing your car to do this. Maybe I'll have somebody else borrow the car to do this. Maybe I'll get somebody else to help me out with this for now, and I just won't use this person, and any benefit they got from working with me, they'll no longer get. And I feel like that might be the shock for them, because you'll get somebody else to do this position. You'll move them out of this position, move somebody else in. Any benefit they had with working with you, it'll be gone for them. They just won't get that anymore, and that will kind of be their just desserts. I feel like I don't want to do this, and I feel like you're in the power position to do it, though. It does feel like you're in the position to change the deck, to shuffle the deck, to move it around. For those of you who chose this one, it's kind of like maybe it is time to make this choice that you're really not that much in favor of, but by making this choice, you improve your circumstances, and it also kind of wakes this person up. It's going to give them a good moment here to realize, you mess around just so long, and you're not going to be able to do that anymore. Sooner or later, people aren't going to put up with it, and then you're going to have to move on because people aren't going to put up with your ridiculousness anymore. So they're going to realize that, you're kind of giving them that gift to figure it out themselves. That way this doesn't have to happen to them again in some other circumstance. So I feel like the short answer with this is to kind of move it on, to move it on, to change it out, to switch the player, something like that. It may not be the most popular idea, but just in case, we'll do one more shuffle, or one more. The Nine of Swords reversed, that's release of stress. By letting go of this is the Hanged Man, the 12, it's half in, half out. By letting go of something you feel like you're stuck with, you release a lot of stress. It takes the stress right out of it. You may not be this may not be a popular thought, but once it's done, you'll be glad you did. I also noticed that the 9 reversed showed up on the Ace of Cups. You'll be surprised how much happier you are making this change. It's really highly beneficial for you to just make the change, move on, see how it rolls out, and then afterwards seeing like, well, you know what, that was a much better change than I thought. Maybe for some reason you thought, well, that was the mean move, or maybe it wasn't being accommodating enough. You've probably been over-accommodating as it is, and this person's been taking advantage of it. So kind of like, hey, you don't want to play? That's all right. We'll get somebody else. Move them on. They'll realize that they should have been, more on ball with it when they had the chance, but they decided they didn't want to participate. That's fine. You don't have to participate. Go don't participate somewhere else. And that'll be the end of it. It's interesting. These picker reads this time around are very quick. Maybe my picker reads are usually quick. I haven't done them in a while. So this one was fast too, though. That's interesting. All right, so I'm going to shut this one down here. I hope that helps. If you're interested in a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Hello to those of you who chose the Amazonite stone. Thank you very much for choosing this reading. All right, the question is overcoming the next challenge. This is how things are currently going. This is how things currently are. This is where they're going. Spiritually, where they stand, where you're standing, what's not working, what is working, and this is your side. This is whatever you're dealing with side, in case you want that breakdown. I feel like you've already made a choice and you moved forward. You've moved something forward, you put it where you wanted it to be. And wherever it is, you know that that's exactly where you want it to stay. The thing is, whatever this is, it does feel like you need other people to support you to keep the success going. It seems like you're a very self-sufficient person when it comes to this subject. You tend to move things forward where you want them to be. You're in control of that. If somebody doesn't like that, that's fine. You'll do it on your own. Maybe like very independent person. To keep this situation where you want it, though, to overcome the next challenge, I do feel like you need support. There's something here with the supportive energy that's very Earth-like. You got the Knight of Pentacles here. You also got the Devil, which is an Earth card. It sometimes talks about Capricorn. You don't have to be dealing with a Capricorn. But the energy that I'm feeling off of that is boundaries and rules. As long as things stay where they're supposed to stay, this person can be very easy to get along with, as long as boundaries and respect is upheld. If you can find out who this person is, somebody is a touchy, I would call them a touchy or a very fickle ally. Again, as long as it goes where they want it as well, as long as it seems to be honoring them the way they feel like it should be honoring them. They don't want to move, they want to stick where they are, and you will have great success with them. Again, this is another one, the Four of Pentacles. As long as things stay where they want them, they will help you keep them where they are. If they lose what they want, though, if at any point they lose what they want by some random act or not, whether it's your fault or not, they will become very difficult. You will have this Tower moment hit in. I do see like there's like a Tower moment threatening here to come in as it is. How does it affect the person who could be more of an ally to you? Alright, so that is the 9, which is the Hermit. And then Cups, 2 of Cups, half in, half out. When that Tower card hits, I feel like they're trying to figure it out, but they don't want to move. They might be forced out of a position slowly. If you could help them stay, help them stay the position they want to stay in, it's like somebody trying to push them out of a room. They're getting pushed out of this room due to this Tower card. They don't want to be pushed out of this room. If you could help them stay in the room, just to make it the simplest analogy I can think of, if you could help them stay in the room, they will remember that. And they will look at you as a resource to help them keep what they want. For that reason, they will also try to keep you in the room because you help them. You're an ally to them. You've helped them stay in the room. So, like, if you can ally up with them and try to help them, I wouldn't take it for granted that you just help them, they'll help you. They'll help you as long as it works out in their benefit. It's kind of that fickle energy, too. They're not going to leave this room to help you. They're only going to help you as long as you're in the same room they are in, as long as you're in the same situation they're in. You know what I mean? They're not going to leave their situation to go into a different situation because you went to a different situation. They're not that type of ally. They're the type of ally as long as you're in the same situation as they are and you're helping them get what they want. They'll keep you around. They'll keep you powerful so they can stay powerful. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Balance it out. Don't see this person as a true ally, I would dare say. Again, they're not going to follow you to the ends of the earth. They're not a ride or die. That's not going to happen. As long as it benefits them and they see the benefit you're giving them, that's where you're going to get the most benefit from them. As soon as they think that that's not going to happen or they don't think that you're going to work to their benefit, you've lost the allyship immediately. There's not going to be like a conversation about it. As soon as they don't think you're going to do something that's going to help them, that's where it's going to go south. They keep you honest, but I feel like there's certain stuff that you want that does seem to match up. Part of this makes me feel like you could get along with this person, but they may not be somebody you normally would like to. This person can be very helpful for you. They will be very, very accommodating to you as long as they're in a successful mood. As long as things are going their way, they're very easy to get along with. Once it doesn't, though, it goes completely south. So keep that in mind. As long as things are going their way and they're happy, they remind me of a person, if I'm happy, everybody's happy. If I'm not happy, nobody's happy, which to me is a very bad attitude. But there's people like that, and I feel like, this is one of those people. I'm happy, then everybody can be happy. I'm not happy, then nobody can be happy. They're very good at moving things forward when they're in a good mood, too. Always remember to make sure you angle it to their benefit. If they're helping you or they're moving something forward on your benefit, always make sure you look out for them. Always do something for them. They will remember that. They will keep helping you because of that. It's definitely, they're in it for them. They are in it for themselves. It's kind of the devil card. They are definitely in it for themselves. Be careful with that. I keep getting again and again that you really might not like this person anyway. But for as long as you need to be a part of this situation, you can benefit greatly, and it will make it that much easier to overcome these challenges. I do see that you would prefer to be more self-sufficient, but if you really want to overcome these challenges and make it as easy as possible, that's the best bet you have. Is there anything I'm missing with this? Because there's something else about the Hierophant and the organization. This seems like a double down to me. The Moon card, and then the Seven of Pentacles. There's more to plan going forward, but even though you want to plan and keep planning to move things forward in a certain way, the Moon card is telling me plans will fail. Just try to keep your plans as loose as you can. So it's kind of like, for example, maybe you're going on vacation in a week and you have plans to go to the beach. Keep your plans, you're going to go on vacation, but also keep your plans open, kind of like if it's stormy that day, you're not going to really want to be at the beach. So what other alternatives do you have for that same day? So like that type of loose. Like, yes, I'm still going to go on vacation in a week, but if it's going to be a rough, rainy, stormy place, I don't want to be on the beach, obviously. So what other options do I have? So if that goes that way, I could do this instead. What is this instead? I could go to some restaurants I haven't tried. Maybe I should get a list of restaurants going just that way I can check out these restaurants that I've never had a chance to. Are there some indoor activities, like are there an indoor aquarium or something like that? Maybe there's a mall or something I haven't seen, or a new shop that I haven't been to that I'd like to check out. That type of thing. Have those things ready. Have your plan loose and ready to go for when you're ready to move forward. That's the only thing I have with this. Like, they're just saying, the Moon card's there saying things aren't going to quite work out the same way that you plan. There's going to be some pop-up things. Make sure you keep your plan loose, but also keep keep this person in mind. You always want to do something for them. So, for example, all right, we want to go to the beach. They want to go to the beach. If it gets tanked and we can't do that, what type of food do they like? So I can make sure I like these couple restaurants, or maybe they're the type of person they don't like new restaurants. So it's like, all right, we have to put in at least twice this one restaurant that they love, because if we make sure we go to that restaurant for them a couple times, that'll keep them happy, that'll keep me happy. We can still do that. There's good food there. That's what they like. They don't like new things. They like the same things, so let's make sure we do that. Keep them in mind as you're keeping your plan loose. If I have alternatives, what other alternatives would they also enjoy or be very appreciative of? I think we're there. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.